I spent 20 minutes last week arguing with my friend Dave about whether his new AI-generated headshot counted as using ChatGPT. He kept insisting it did. I kept telling him the tool he used was Midjourney, which is not ChatGPT, which is not even the same species of monkey. Dave looked at me like I'd told him his dog was actually a ferret. It's all the same AI stuff, he said. And honestly, I understand why he thinks that. To him, every banana coming out of that zoo looks like the same banana. A ChatGPT banana. Here's what Dave was actually confused about, and he's far from alone. When ChatGPT launched on November 30th, 2022, it hit 1 million users in 5 days, 100 million in 2 months. Fastest growing consumer application in history. That single product became the face of everything AI does. But ChatGPT runs on a large language model, specifically the GPT series from OpenAI. And a large language model is one very specific species of monkey, the one that only forages for words. It processes text inputs and generates text outputs, usually built on something called the transformer architecture. Its world is words. Text in, text out. It can write essays, generate code, translate languages, hold a conversation. GPT-1 launched in 2018 with 117 million parameters. GPT-3, released in June 2020, had 175 billion. GPT-4 arrived on March 14, 2023. Each generation, a smarter monkey, but every single one of them hands out the same flavor of banana. Word bananas. Dave saw one monkey and assumed it was the whole troop. Generative AI is the zoo. It covers every monkey capable of producing new fruit, not just word bananas. DALL-E, unveiled by OpenAI in January 2021, is a monkey that forages for pictures instead of words, creating images from text descriptions. The demo image that spread everywhere was an armchair shaped like an avocado. Midjourney, the monkey Dave actually used for his headshot, launched in 2022 and hands out picture bananas too, though it climbs a completely different tree to get them. Stable Diffusion, released by Stability AI that same year, is a picture banana monkey with an even stranger technique. Diffusion models, which work by gradually transforming random noise into a coherent image. No word monkey involved. None. Audio has its own troupe. OpenAI Jukebox produces sound bananas shaped like music. 11 Labs produces sound bananas shaped like a human voice. Video sits in its own corner of the zoo, with monkeys like Synthesia and Runway Gen 2 producing video bananas, full moving scenes instead of static fruit. None of these are word monkeys. They're all residents of the same zoo, and none of them have anything to do with ChatGPT. The confusion comes from a kind of celebrity effect. One monkey got famous, so people started calling every banana in the zoo by that monkey's name, the way your parents call every game console a Nintendo. As the research firm Confiz put it, equating LLMs with generative AI is not only misleading, but fundamentally flawed. What actually separates these monkeys is how they forage. Word monkeys run on transformers, the architecture that came out of a 15-page paper published by 8 Google researchers in June 2017. The paper was titled, "Attention is All You Need," which might be the boldest title in the history of artificial intelligence. Instead of foraging for one word, then the next, a transformer monkey looks at every word in the sentence at once, through something called an attention mechanism, and decides which ones matter most to each other. That single idea, first proposed by Bahdanau and colleagues in 2014, is what let this particular monkey get so good at language so fast. Picture monkeys forage differently. Stable Diffusion's technique is to stare at a banana until it dissolves into static over and over until it has memorized the process backward. Then it starts from pure static and sculpts a banana back out of the noise. Generative Adversarial Networks, or GANs, forage in pairs. One monkey grabs fruit and hands it over, the other inspects it and rejects anything that looks fake, and the two of them keep going back and forth until the fruit is good enough to fool the critic. Transformers dominated the market in 2025, holding a 40.9% share, which means nearly 60% of the zoo is foraging some other way entirely. This is a big zoo with a lot of enclosures, and most of them don't run on transformers at all. Here's where I want to step back for a second, because this is not just taxonomy. If you're evaluating AI tools for your work, or trying to understand what's coming next, treating every monkey like it hands out the same banana means you're shopping at only one stall in a very large market. You might need a picture banana. You might need a video banana. You might need a whole handler walking several monkeys on leashes at once, combining what each of them forages. Knowing which monkey makes which banana is the difference between buying what you actually need and buying what's loudest. Now, the honest wrinkle. the boundaries between these troops are getting messy. GPT-4o, released in May 2024, is a word monkey that learned to forage pictures and sound at the same time. Claude 3 and Google's Gemini 1.5 Pro do similar things. Gemini can hold a 1 million token pile of words in its cheeks at once, enough to swallow an entire book in a single pass. These are still transformer-built, still word monkeys at their core, but they've started reaching into other enclosures and grabbing fruit that used to belong to other species entirely. Anthropic now holds roughly 40% of enterprise LLM API spend as of late 2025, according to Menlo Ventures data, while OpenAI dropped to 27% from about 50% in 2023. The competition isn't just between companies, it's between which monkeys get fed. The per-token pricing gap between the top 6 models has widened to nearly 2 orders of magnitude, even as their benchmark scores compressed to within a couple of points. Capability converged. Cost became the differentiator. And then there's agentic AI, which isn't a new species of monkey so much as a monkey trained to walk around the zoo on its own and forage from multiple trees without a handler. Gartner predicts that 40% of enterprise applications will embed this kind of self-directed foraging by the end of 2026, up from less than 5% in 2025. These are systems that can plan, reason, browse the web, execute code, and complete multi-step tasks with nobody holding the leash. 79% of enterprises say they've let a monkey off the leash at least once. Only 11% actually trust it to forage unsupervised in production. The zoo is expanding faster than anyone can build enclosures for it. Google published the paper that invented the transformer monkey. 8 researchers, June 2017, attention is all you need. Then Google didn't do much with it. Ilya Polosukin, one of the original inventors, explained it plainly. If you want to move really fast and put something in front of a user, Google is a big company with a lot of processes and security protocols. OpenAI took that same monkey, trained it into GPT, released ChatGPT to the public, and reshaped the entire zoo. Google bred the monkey. Someone else taught it to perform. The generative AI market hit somewhere between $22 and $71 billion in 2025, depending on which research firm you ask, with projections stretching toward $988 billion by 2035. Text generation, word bananas, holds 48% of that market, meaning the other 52% is fruit that never came from a word monkey at all. More than half the zoo isn't the monkey Dave thinks it is. It never was. I never did convince Dave. He still calls Midjourney that ChatGPT picture thing. But last week, he sent me an AI-generated video of himself giving a TED Talk he never actually gave, made with Synthesia, and captioned it, "Look what ChatGPT did." I didn't correct him this time. I just watched the video of fake Dave confidently explaining blockchain to a fake audience and thought, that's 3 different monkeys, 3 completely different bananas, and 0 of them are ChatGPT. The man went to the zoo and came home thinking he'd only seen 1 animal.